Day 6. I take this for granted, but I'm going to call it a project management mind. I've had to put together a lot of big projects just in business. I was forced into it. Hey, Eddie, go do this. I'm like, okay. And then you go and you say, okay, back to goals. To accomplish this goal, this target, we need this many people and we need this many equipment and I need this room and I'm gonna need this software to do it and I need this, let's break apart the software, I need this phone system. So that's become second nature in my world. And I realize for a lot of people, that's not second nature, right? Not everybody has been in business forever. Some people have never been in business. It's just they've been forced to go to school and they're like, that kind of wasn't cool, and it's not. So what we want to talk about today is you having a process that you comfortably employ to learn something new, okay? Well, I just go on YouTube. Okay, cool. Then nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Let's make it a little formal so you uncover everything. So let's take an example here. I try to learn something new, I'm gonna say as often as possible, with my regular life that I have going on, at least once every 3 months, I'm gonna try and take on something new. I try and get out of my comfort zone. For example, learning to ride motorcycles. That was very uncomfortable. It is a thing to get out into traffic on just a motorcycle, just you there, and learning all of that. But I grew dramatically, and it kind of shook things up in my life and made it so that I can continue to ascend. So putting myself in an uncomfortable position is something that I do as much as possible. And learning new things. For example, I take a guitar lesson. I do practice regularly so that I can learn to play guitar. I'm activating different parts of my mind. I'm making sure that my mind is used to learning and growing, because in this year, in 2024, at my age, at age 50, my new life expectancy isn't 80 to 90. It's not 100 to 120. That's gone. It's near 140 and 160 because of how fast technology is going, and medically how many problems we can solve with all the math that we have. In the most recent years, computers are making computers. So I need to make sure that I'm as alert as possible and that I'm gathering as many skills as I can to be useful. It's either, if you think you're staying at the same place and you're good, no, that means you're falling behind. We need to learn to keep ascending and enjoying it. That's the key. And when we get into the physical part, you're going to find out that that's the key to a lot of stuff, is actually enjoying what you're doing, and you can. So I digress. Again, let's build a process. Let's say, for example, today, I want to get into cooking. One of the biggest things I had to learn when I was single and out on my own and was not going to spend money eating out every day, I wanted to learn to cook. I came from a house where my mother was an amazing cook, my father was an amazing cook, grandparents, aunts, uncles, everybody for some reason was amazing at cooking. Well, not for some reason, they had very little money. So you had to eat at home. So you were forced into learning how to cook. Luckily, they learned and it was amazing. So I wanted to reduplicate that. So the first thing I'm gonna do is, I believe, you can computer it. You can look in the world of hardware, and then look in the world of software. So for hardware, what do I need? What do I need to put that together? Well, simple list, apron. I have an apron that I wear every single day. I cook pretty much every single day. A good set of knives. You can start with 1 or 2, a knife, a chef's knife, maybe a paring knife, regular knives. You don't have to go anything crazy. Besides that, a good cutting board. You're always gonna need a good cutting board or 2, maybe 1 for meat. You can turn it around, use the other side for vegetables. Very good. And then pans. All your different saucepans. So you have your saute pans, you have broiling pans, steaming, you have your whole set of pans that you can get as well. Besides that, the utensils that you're using themselves, those are very, very important as well. You're gonna need all your basic tools. So if we separate that, and again, I journaled about this, I wrote it all out. What do I need? And then luckily today, I can go online and I can start shopping for what I think is good, what works. Easy stuff like an apron, that's pretty easy to pick out. Utensils, pretty easy. Pans, not so simple. Knives, that's gonna be a big gray area. So for the pans, I started, so part 2, research. Because YouTube can be as current as possible, right? Instead of a book that was written 10 or 20 years ago, I wanted to see what the latest technology is and what people like. And then of course, I can see pricing pretty much instantly. So then I'll go to YouTube and start looking for items that people are recommending to use. And there's a lot of, since we have so much data, a lot of people showing how they cook at home, the things that they use there for the pans and other items. And then I got down to a set and try and weed out what you don't need to keep it cost effective. So then we have our pans, so we have all of our items, and then you're gonna get into different ways of cooking. Now there's just the stove. If you have that, start that, because I cook on my stove pretty much every day. I have a air fryer, but it's a gourmet air fryer where I can cook full chickens in there if I want. That's actually what I'm cooking today. And then outside, we have the regular grill. I have a gas grill. And then I have a smoker. I have a large Traeger smoker where I can smoke meats. But these are all things that I learned one at a time, tons of error. And I'll give you just my own little learning for cooking. It has to do with temperature. When you learn to control your heat, even for eggs, and one cook, he said this is, hey, as soon as the pan is hot enough to cook the egg, you can take it off the heat. There's enough heat in the pan to finish the egg perfectly so that you're not burning it and you're not smoking the house up. And I thought, so that's something I do today. Halfway through my egg, I turn the fire off and I just use the rest of the heat in the pan and I finish it and then I start my new one. Just a little thing that you're gonna learn. But when you have your tools and you have your target for what the finished product is, let's say, hey, I love hamburgers and I do have a hamburger problem. I learned how to cook hamburgers first. I learned how to cook eggs second and different egg variables. I eat that pretty much every day, eggs. I cook an egg meal. Then I learned to grill outside. I was grilling pretty much everything you can think of, steaks, burgers, sausages, hot dogs, everything, corn, you name it. Cauliflower is a great cauliflower recipe. And then I started smoking meats. So you can take yourself further and further and further down that road. And just in the cooking world, I mean, when you have a family, and you can start to make meals that you love, then you have people over and you can cook meals. People get very impressed by a good meal because it does take work, but if you enjoy what you eat, it's a win and it's very cost effective and it's easy to duplicate. And once you buy your hard items, like I have pretty much everything I need right now to cook, you don't need to replace it. It lasts forever, it lasts a long time. So over-index on skills that are gonna improve your life, that give you more control. Whether I pack up today and have to move my entire family to Italy or to the middle of the woods, I know how to make a fire. We can get some food. I'll cook it right here. I know how to control it. I can feed you. That's a big, big deal. So I know I'm going down two roads at the same time here. Have a process in which you know exactly what to do in your world to learn your new item, no matter what it is. You label what it is, pretty much identify what the end result is, and then you write down all of the little bitty things you're gonna need to do it. Then you have all of your research in each item, and then you take action, right? You start to get these things. Now, let's say it's a sport like golf. You don't need to go and buy the most expensive thing. You don't have to. Technology is moving so fast that last year's item, people kind of want. The year before that, they don't want it. The year before that, they don't want it. But 3 years ago, that was amazing. So you can still use that. And there's plenty of people that have those items sitting in their garage and they don't want to throw them away. And maybe they haven't taken it down to Goodwill yet. So start by looking for used items. And you can ask people, you can ask groups of people, hey, do you know anybody that is in this particular sport that might want to help me out? I would like to learn, see if I can try it, see if I'm good at it. Just get out of your comfort zone and you'd be surprised. You get into new circles, but you're really about it. You're not faking it. You're really gonna put your effort into it. And you're gonna go ahead and you've done your research. You know pretty much what you need. You have done your homework. People are very impressed when someone has a process and they're not afraid to spend time thinking and doing their own research so they can come out with their desired result. Now, if you just encapsulated that and you continue to do that, maybe even just once a year, over the course of 10 years, you're going to be a completely different person. You're going to have a ton of experiences. You're going to live life on a very different level. Most people, I can sit them down and ask them. And it's something that I do when I interview people. Tell me what you've learned in the last month, 6 months, hold on, 2 years. Tell me what you've learned. Usually, it's very little to nothing. People like to stay comfortable. They like to stay in their own little world. They don't grow very much. They're not used to growing. No one is saying grow. People are just saying, hey, as long as you're still employed at your good job, you must be doing great. No, actually, no, you're not. You're not doing great at all. Unless it's your business and you are in your passion and you're doing what you love, then yes. But if you're at someone's 9 to 5, staying in the same world, and maybe because you have a family, you think you're doing great, you're not. You don't have to stop living. You can do it all. You can continue to grow and grow and grow. So, recap. Have a process to learn something new, to enhance your life. Whether it's cooking, whether it's playing golf, whether it's horseback riding, no limits. Do not give yourself a limit. Don't say, oh, I'll do that when I have this much money. The one thing that I've learned is it doesn't take money. The thing and whatever will just come out of nowhere. The money will show up. As long as you start moving to that target and you have that purpose and you do it, you go ahead and you name it, you define it, you clarify all of your items, and then you put it in motion. It'll happen. It'll happen much quicker than you think. All right, say it with me. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better, and better and better, and better and better. I am amazing. There is greatness in me. You know, this was my favorite. This was my favorite. I got this. I got this. And you do. You got this. Thank you.